people around you. Now, I always say that I'm not here to give you directions, do this and do that, and you'll be fine. I am here to teach you how to fish. I will not give you fish, but to teach you how to fish. Most people in class, at times when I listen to some of the questions that I ask, I laugh. Why? Because I know spiritually they are now building themselves spiritually. They are not that, they are like babies, okay? They are like babies. So most of the things, you see that they want to be spoon feed, but I'm not here to spoon feed you. I'm here to make sure that you are able to do it yourself and do it better. If it is beyond you and you need my assistance and you come, I will be glad to help you free of charge. I'll be glad to help you free of charge. Whatever that you have to get to maybe accomplish whatever that you are going through, that one, when you get it, with the help of the Holy Ones, I will do it for you without taking a peso from you. I am here to serve each and every one of you. So to all my students in class, who are in class today, please, for the sake of your colleagues, those who don't understand the Ghanaian language, I will urge that you all put your heads together and come up with comments or questions that will give them vividly understanding of this whole chakra that we are going to discuss. Today we will look at the definition of chakra, and then God willing, next week Tuesday we will look at the rest of the chakras as well. Now, when we talk about chakra, okay, let me first of all give you that we have 7 types of chakras. Okay, we have 7 types of chakras, and as we are moving ahead, you will understand these chakras and how they really operate, and then it will go a long way to help you. I believe if you are watching, you can share so that your friend at home or your sister at home can also enjoy these educative lectures. Normally when I come, I'm here to impart in you something that you can pass it on to your family as well, not necessarily you alone, but even in time to come, you will be able to pass it on to generations upon to generations, like our predecessors did for us, and we are now enjoying herbs. Why? Because they started practicing herbs, they started understanding the language of herbs, and now they have passed it on to us, and as a result of that, understanding the language of herbs have become so much easier. Why? Because of technology. With just a phone, you'll be able to know what kind of plant it is and what you can do with this, and everything that surrounds from the root to the leaf or to the flowers of it. It gives you all those details for you to understand. Now, when we talk about chakra, someone will ask, Reverend, chakra, are you talking about chakra? What do you mean by chakra? Okay. Producer, please get this image for me. You see the whole human system where the veins are going to, we have red and then blue veins. Can you get it and put it on the screen so that I can explain things to them very well? Then they will understand what I mean by chakra. Now, imagine a network of rivers flowing around the body. There are various points where these networks cross over. Okay, there are various points where these networks cross over. It's not just 7 chakras that we have. We have more than 7 chakras, but basically the 7 are very known to most people, or they are very known due to their very active very activeness in terms of our daily activities and how they help us to heal ourselves. So we'll talk about the 7, but as we are moving ahead, you realize we have more, not just the 7. So a chakra is like a river body where they cross or they meet, maybe 1 or 2 meets over there, and then That is what we call chakra. And then they have a purpose that they do. A chakra is any location where two or more nebis. When we talk about nebis, nebis is simply like the definition of nebis is simply river bodies, like river bodies, okay, like streams, like where things are connecting, okay, where things are connecting. For instance, if flights are connecting here and there, okay, that is what I mean. So where they cross over, they cross over. So example of that is the human structure, whereby you have the whole human structure as in physical standing there. No, not this, not this. Get me the human structure showing the veins, showing the veins, okay, showing the veins. That is what I want, please. Now you may need to let go of a person's situation or event that is causing you harm in some way. Now in chakra, for you to make sure that your chakra is very balanced, you need to let go of certain situations. At times holding on to situations that are not necessary can affect your chakra. It can affect your chakra big time, okay? So you need to let go of these situations. So if you are watching me and today is the first time of being in the Click English class, please, I will urge you that you take it seriously and then try and understand everything that I'm explaining to you bit by bit. I'm not rushing. I'm taking my time. Please, are we on YouTube?
Yes.
We're on YouTube. Okay, so if you are watching on YouTube, it's Click TV on YouTube. Facebook is also Click TV. And then for those of you whom, due to the nature of your work, the app has been restored. The radio app has been restored. Very soon you can watch the TV and everything from the app. So those of you at home or at work that you can't have access to watch me live, you can listen to me wherever you are. Just go to Google Play Store and download the Click Radio app. When you download it, you'll be able to listen and get yourself updated with some of the teachings that have happened here or some of the lectures that have gone on in this house, and it will go a long way to help you. Now, let's proceed. Change, even for the best, can cause pain and often requires a lot of effort. If it is important to remember that each of us is made up of biomagnetic energy field. So at times there are certain changes in our lives that we make, or we decide that, oh, let me decide and do this. For instance, I used to have this bad habit of smoking, okay? From morning to evening, I could finish like 6 packs of cigarettes, aside other things, that the weed that I was also smoking as well. Now, basically, it was affecting me, okay? It was affecting me. It got to a point whereby I realized it wasn't too well for me, so I need to put an end to it. So what did I do? I changed. Yes, I changed from smoking to non-smoker. Okay, I was a smoker and I had to go through a serious, intensive self-discipline, okay, to repair these chakras that we are going to talk about. Now, the nebis that I'm talking about, as you can see on the screen, we have a diagram indicating veins, okay. These veins, when you look on the map or the world map, wherever you see river or you see lake, they look just like the veins that you are seeing you have on your screen now, okay. They look like these veins, and where these veins, okay, they meet, one or two of them meet exactly from the crown, from the head to the bottom. Where they meet is where you can locate the very 7 known chakras. So as we are talking about, if you hear nibis, don't be so confused that what is nibis, and then you start looking into dictionaries and other things for it. No, these nibis are part of our system, and they are the spiritual aspect of our life. Now, what we are going to learn today, the diagram you have over there, we are not going to discuss the physical aspect of it, but the spiritual aspect of what we have on the screen. That is what chakra is all about. Chakra is about the spiritual side of the physical being that we have. Okay, how you can make an impact in your spiritual being to have effect on this physical body that we have. Most people don't know how to make such impact, but remember that you can do that depending on the kind of self-discipline or the kind of disciplinary situations that you put yourself through can make you receive this kind of breakthrough for your chakras to work or balance very well for you. Why? Because you have this biomagnetic energy field in you, and as a result of this biomagnetic energy field, this is why you are able to an energy is able to attach itself to you. For instance, I always say that before you can solve a solution, you can have a solution to an issue, first of all you need to understand the meaning of the issue that has been presented to you, the name, the angles where you can take them from, to make sure that you really have the understanding of it. So for instance, talking about spiritual magnetism, most people call it spiritual marriage, but the real name is spiritual magnetism. So if, for instance, you go to a spiritual site and then you type in spiritual marriage, you will get a different solution, okay, to that, which when you apply, you definitely not get the answer to whatever that you are resolving. So if someone has come to you with spiritual magnetism, or the person has magnetism, a spirit has attached itself to the person, and then you call me on phone and tell me, oh, can you help me? Someone has spiritual marriage. I might think the person is a nun, okay, a Roman sister. Those ones they are married to Christ. Okay, they are married to Christ. Those ones are the spiritual marriage. But in terms of the ones that when you sleep and then you find yourself being abused by a spirit or a demon, that one is spiritual magnetism, and it is caused, okay, because we have this biomagnetic energy field in us. They are able to pass through this biomagnetic energy field to have access to us, and all these are possible as a result of the chakras that we have in us. So if the chakras are very active, there's no way an energy, a demon or bad energy can have its way through you to disturb your peace. The energy system activates when we interact with others. So as I am sitting here with you, my chakras, okay, my chakras are activating. Some of the things, if not for the jargons and everything that I have to let you know, automatically I can just start lecturing you from A to Z. Why? Because once we start interacting, everything that I've studied about the chakra keeps on coming, one after the other. As soon as you finish with section 1, section B comes automatically. So that is how it is. For instance, this biomagnetic energy field, which basically we are talking about the chakras, when you find yourself in an environment whereby the people there are not that positive mindset, their mindset is not that positive towards you, it's going to have an impact on you. How will it have an impact on you? When they begin to talk about you, one way or the other, you might hear, and when you hear, you will not be too comfortable to be around that side. Or when you find yourself in an environment where you feel that you are under attack, something can easily happen to you. maybe you find yourself among robbery situation, and you need to get yourself out of there. It makes it very uncomfortable for you. Okay, at that moment, because you are interacting with others who are having bad energies, it is going to affect you big time. It's going to affect you big time. So mostly the kind of people you interact with are very, very important, especially when it comes to sexual intercourse. When it comes to sexual intercourse, when you meet someone, you have mutual intercourse with someone, and then the person's spirit or the person has an attack or a demonic attack that is attached to whatever he or she does. Please remember that as soon as you have that intercourse, you also automatically attract that demon to yourself. Okay, you also automatically attract that demon to yourself. So you need to be careful with the people that you move with. If the people that you are moving with are people that carries bad energy, automatically, because of this biomagnetic energy field in you, you also attract it. So it is always advisable to make sure before you go to where a lot of people are surrounded, like funerals, parties, and other things. You have to make sure that your chakras are very well balanced for you to visit such places. It is very, very important. Example that I will cite according to the Christian history is when Jesus was going through his normal activities, daily activities, whereby this lady who was bleeding for so many years decided that if I could hold on to his rope, I will be healed from this blood that I've been going through for so many years. And when she did, listen, when she did that, automatically, because Jesus Christ, according to the Christian history, his chakras were very balanced. Automatically, he felt that something has been taken from him. So he asked, okay, who has touched me? And the people were kind of amazed, because then they didn't know that there's something even called chakra. But Jesus knew that chakra is there. I hope you understand. So that enabled him to recognize that something has been taken from him. Why? Because the lady also had an idea that the kind of chakra, the man's chakra are all balanced, and mine is not balanced. That is why I'm going through this kind of continuous bleeding. So if I could get hold of him, no matter where it is, I believe I will be able to balance these chakras of mine. So she did that, and it really, really helped her. She did it, and it really, really helped her. So please, that is an example that I'm giving you. If the chakras are very balanced, no matter how it is, if you go to an environment where they are not that good, because you have a very well balanced chakra, you will be able to find a way to get yourself out of it. But if your chakra is not balanced as well, it can create a whole lot of tension on you, and because you find yourself within this environment, you feel very tired. You feel very tired. You feel anxious, and then you are not that good. You don't feel good about anything at all. At times, people will tell you, "I'm not sick, but I don't feel good." Okay, I'm not sick, but I don't feel good. It's as a result of these chakras that you have that are not well balanced. These chakras are not well balanced, and as we are moving ahead, and then we begin to study them one after the other in our series to come, you understand that these chakras, when they are balanced, they help you a lot. Most of us, okay, we always look at the physical aspect of the human body, but the most important, that carries about 90% of our daily life, is the biomagnetic energy fields that works for us. Anything that we are going through, me sitting here today lecturing you about chakra in English, has already been lived before coming to sit here. Okay, before I did the lectures in the Ghanaian language, already it has already been lived before I came. So most of the things we go through are things that are highly spiritual, that we have been through already, and we just have to make it manifest. And making it manifest is by living it. And by living it, if these biomagnetic energy fields that you have in you are not balanced, you make mistakes that can lead you to so many complications, and you need to have that in mind. For instance, being in a public atmosphere, you may find that you become overwhelmed due to all of the energy around you. So at times when you're overwhelmed, it's as a result of these negative energies surrounding you. Okay, negative energy surrounding you, especially, for instance, the men and then the women. For a woman who is in her menses, okay, is extremely powerful, humongously powerful. Don't joke with her. In that state, they can do so many things. In that state, they can do so many things. So you need to be very, very careful when it comes to women in their menstrual cycle. Okay, when it comes to women in their menstrual cycle. So if a woman is in a menstrual cycle and then you don't know, and then you happens to, that doesn't mean if a woman is in a menstrual cycle, you don't have to eat her food, you don't have to sleep. If she's your wife, you don't have to sleep on the same bed with her. But please don't have sexual intercourse with her, because you, the man, once you do that, it will take huge amount of energy from you. It will imbalance all these chakras. If you are having a very good balanced chakra or chakras, it will imbalance all for you, and it will go a long way to affect you. So please have it in mind that you know how to deal with situations when you find yourself in a public environment and the energies over there are overwhelmed. Some of these energies could be physical. For instance, maybe you find yourself in an environment where maybe you are there are so much food to eat. Now, this food that you are eating can cause you a whole lot of sleepless nights. Why? Because you might eat and eat and eat, and when you go home, you will be having stomach ache and you can't sleep. These are some of the energies that you can attract from such an environment. So you need to be careful. Or maybe you find yourself among smokers. You don't smoke, and because they smoke, you feel, oh, let me also smoke, and then you also start smoking. By the time you come home, maybe you'll be having serious mental issues and other health issues, which might not be necessarily good for you. So you need to take note of that, and it will go a long way to help you. If you want to, these are the basics of chakras that I'm giving you before we start, so that when we start with the chakras itself, you will know what I've been discussing with you from the beginning. This feeling with its negative experience can lead to physical, mental, and emotional ill health, and that is what I said. So this negative energy, the negative energy that you experience, could be spiritual or is spiritual, because everything that we are doing is through this magnetic energy field. Now, as a result of that, whatever that you are going through, it being spiritual, can affect you physically. For instance, you having a dream of having sexual intercourse with someone you don't know, if you're a man, can make you impotent. That is one. And if you're a woman, most women who go through that end up with fibroid. Why? This is the situation. If the chakras are balanced, there's no way those demons can have access to you. But because they are not balanced, they have access to the whole body and do whatever they want and deposit their semen in you. And this semen that they are depositing in you is a spiritual semen. And there's no way physically it can fertile your egg for you to have babies with it. So what happens? It keeps on growing in you, and it's rather unfortunate. They have, instead of attacking the elders, they have started attacking even the youngest, the young ones. Okay, the little ones, our little ones who are barely even know anything about sex, they have started attacking them. And it's something that uh, if you are watching and you have a child, whether a male or a female, please make sure you have these some of these plants that I will tell you, you have them around you for them to use, so that their chakras will be balanced. There are some elements, or there are some plants that cut across all the 7 chakras. When you use it, it balances all the 7 chakras for you. So when we are getting there, you get to know all that. And if you've been having that sexual intercourse every night and you are enjoying it, I'm telling you, especially those with the vampire energy, when they come and they are on you, if you're a man or a woman and they are on you, there's no way you feel like having sexual intercourse with your fellow human being. You always prefer to have it with such a spirit. Okay, you always want to go to bed and then have it. I remember way back in school, we were having a discussion, and then someone mentioned that do you know that spirits come from the sea and then sleep with us? And then one of them made a funny comment that, me, if she makes a mistake and come, I'll impregnate her. Okay, and to us it was funny then, but to be sincere, after that comment that he made, remember, everything that you say, there are familiar spirits that wait for you at a particular point, and when you get there, they hit you with it. I met him a couple of years ago. I wasn't happy with the kind of situation that he was finding himself in. I wasn't happy at all. Why? Because I remembered he mentioned something and it was hitting him back. It was hitting him back, and we need to make sure of what we say. So some of these things that we go through, this spiritual magnetism and everything, most of the ladies end up with fibroid. Most of the men become impotent, or they have this prostate enlargement, or they even have certain diseases that they run test and they can't even detect that this is actually wrong with you. When you are experiencing that, please, you have to know that it is spiritual, and the only way you can get rid of it is when you can balance your chakras. When the chakras are balanced, very, very well balanced for you, you can do anything possible to come out of it, and it will go a long way to help you. Please, let's continue and then go to our next point. Getting in contact with others can make you feel miserable. This is because their negative energies have been passed on to you. Okay, you getting closer or being influenced, or like peer pressure and other things. So you have to watch your kids very well. Peer pressure and other things can influence your children to do so much things, like smoking and other things. It's as a result of peer pressure. Okay, because the kind of energy that they are bringing, these are physical things that they are doing, and basically out of that physical things that they are doing, automatically is also having a great impact on the person. It is not just a physical thing. They are having that spiritual insight of smoking or drinking or whatever it is. Okay, so when they are doing it, and then your child or your ward or knowingly also gets himself involved, automatically that spirit takes control. So we have people that they can drink and drink and drink for a whole day without eating, and then they will go to bed without food, and it goes on and on. When if you have someone of that, then it means the person has gotten himself or herself in contact with a familiar spirit that creates that kind of atmosphere of drinking without eating. And when you drink and drink without eating, remember that you are destroying your kidney, and it will go a long way to affect you physically. This is something that is affecting you spiritually. If your chakras are balanced, there's no way you'll be drinking without eating. You will drink and eat, or you will not even drink at all. Okay, so you need to have that in mind. This can be termed as a vampire. Remember I told you about a vampire, something that is feeding on you. So because the drinking has become a habit of you that you do, it is feeding on your spiritual aspect. It tells you through your mindset, okay, go and drink 1 shot, go and drink 2 shots. So as you continue doing it, okay, it is having an impact. It is feeding on you. It is rather directing you what to do, and it goes a long way to affect you spiritually, because when you are drunk, there are things that spiritually you cannot do. That is why most people get drunk, and then at long run they get raped as a result. Why? Because once they are drunk, their senses are not working anymore, so they can't even they can feel that they are being tortured, but the possibility of them being able to control themselves is impossible. Why? Because they are drunk and they are being taken advantage of. That is how it is. When these chakras are not really balanced, what happens is automatically you cannot control yourself. You've been taken over. I remember there's someone that brought an issue to me, and then I checked, and when I checked, it was a vampire issue that has taken over the situation of that person. So this is what happened. Whenever the person is there, automatically the vampire takes over, and that's a whole lot of things. And it's very rare for you to understand, unless maybe you set a camera on you. After that, before you'll be able to realize that, hey, this is what happens to me when I sleep. If you are someone that you have a feeling that certain behaviors of yours are not normal, they are a bit spiritual, what you can do is just get a camcorder that can record throughout the whole night. With modernization, you can even use your phone. Set it somewhere and make sure it's on flight mode so that calls wouldn't disturb you, and let it be on you throughout whilst you sleep. Cameras can capture spirits. Cameras can capture spirits. That is why when you come here, some of the things, I remember at first when I come, some of the things I'll be very careful when I'm saying them. Why? Because the cameras that we have here can easily capture a spirit, a good spirit and then a bad spirit as well. So when you set it on you and these chakras are not balanced, and maybe you have a vampire that comes to sleep with you at night, or that comes to hypnotize you and take control of your mindset, please, as soon as it happens, the camera will capture it, so you'll be able to see it, and then you know it's not normal, and then you can take the necessary steps as to how you can do it by taking or seeking the assistance of a seer. Okay, seeking the assistance of a seer can help you resolve such issues, and it will protect you from attracting bad energies from those that comes to you for help. Okay, at times these vampire energies or these familiar spirits that attack us are as a result of some of these people that we interact with. As they maybe I'm sleeping with Ajua today, tomorrow I'm sleeping with Equia. It goes on, and each and every one of them have their kind of spirit that follows them. So if I'm not careful, I'll have the spirit of Equia following me. I'll have the spirit of Amma following me. So it will go on and on and on. And if you're not careful, you have so many spirits attacking you at a go, and it will slow you down. It will fasten these chakras that I'm talking about. Okay, it will fasten these chakras that I'm talking about. So you need to be very careful as to how you do things, and the only way you can come out of it is to see a seer who will give you directions as to how you can do it. And there's this plant. Can you search for rose plants? Okay, there's this plant that works with all the chakras. If they are not balanced and then you use the rose plant, it balances all your chakras for you. So for those of you that are having difficulties, maybe you were in the Akan or the Ghanaian class, but you still don't understand how these chakras can be balanced. Please, the best herb or flower for you to balance these chakras of yours is the rose flower. Each flower and how quick it can balance it for you. The blue one does it faster. Okay, the blue one does it faster. The black one also does it faster as well. So if you get any of these rose flowers and then your chakras are not balanced enough, just make sure you extract the medicinal in those flower and then wash yourself with it. Maybe you can do it for 7 days, you can do it for 9 days. If you're a lady, you can do it for 7 days. If you're a man, you can do it for 9 days. And by the time you finish with it, you see that you come back to your spiritual awareness and certain things will be made known to you. So please, let's have that in mind, and then it will go a long way to help us. Let's continue to our next point. These formulas are example of burning incense, candle, meditation, and more. So as I cited the spiritual bath of the rose flower, there are other incenses that you can burn as well to make these chakras of yours. Normally, it shouldn't be spinning faster. Okay, it shouldn't be speeding. It should be moving slowly. If your chakras are moving slowly, then it means you have a very balanced chakra. You have a very balanced chakra. But if it is moving faster, then you are not in good hands. It means your chakra is not very, very balanced. And you need to make sure you do things that will make it move slowly. And when it moves slowly, it means it's balanced. So you can use these formulas. You can burn candles to balance your chakra. You can burn incense to balance your chakra. You can meditate. For instance, those of you who comes to see me most often, at times I'll tell you, okay, go and light a candle at home and make sure the candle doesn't go off. Maybe some of these candles can be on for a month or two. I will tell you, please, are you sure you can get a place where you can light this candle without it going off? If you tell me yes, you go with it and then you light it. And it's not supposed to go off, okay? It's not supposed to go off. All these, whatever that you are going through, I am connecting with your chakra to give you solution to whatever it is. Is this rose flower? It looks like, can you check again for me, please? Check for me again. Yeah. So let's go to, whilst they are looking for the rose flower, let's go to the next point. And then when you are at home or in a safe place, imagine the opposite. So if, for instance, your chakras are not balanced and you are going through a whole lot of difficulties, please, you can imagine the opposite. You can start thinking positive. If you don't have the candle, the incense, or other things around you, you can start thinking positive. And when you think positive, it will manifest itself. This will increase your love and compassion for your friends and family, filling the room, sending joy and happiness to all around you. At times, you could be in an environment where the tension there is very, very huge. Just one thing could create a whole lot of misunderstanding and to destroy the whole whatever that is happening there. Please, when it happens that way, think of the opposite. Think of the opposite. Just focus on rather creating joy. Okay, so if you find yourself in a working environment where there's always misunderstanding here and there, please always think of the positive aspect of it, and then it will go a long way to change whatever that it is. Happiness will come, and once happiness comes, gradually the chakras will be able to balance for you. So please have that in mind as well. These are all basics, the definitions of chakras that I'm giving you, ways and means how you deal with these chakras. So when we start with them, we'll start with the root chakra. When we start with them, you will know what it means. Okay, you know what it means. So please pay attention to them, these lectures very, very well, because it will go a long way to help you. Before you go into a crowd, please imagine a bubble in light and energy all around you, your body, sealing and protecting you from harm. For instance, the kings, the queens, most people, the musicians and other things that go on stage to perform, remember, if their chakras are not well balanced, there's no way they can go. A king going to give a message, a lecturer going to lecture, if his or her chakras are not balanced, there's no way the lecturer can can lecture. Why? Because there will be lapses or imbalance in the presentation. So when these chakras of yours are balanced, the way you can amplify it is like, imagine a bubble of light. Okay, imagine a bubble of light. So when they are going on stage, they project themselves as high as a superstar. So when they see the crowd, they know the crowd are there for them. I'm talking about the musicians, the actors, and other things. They see themselves that these people are here for me, so I need to do things that will make them happy, that will make them enjoy the show. So they go to the extra mile to do things that makes them enjoy whatever that they are there for. Please remember to release this bubble by imagining it dissolve and disappear in your mind when you want to relax and let go. So for instance, if you're a musician and you go on stage and then you have this bubble light that is keeping you, giving you the ideas as to how to do things around, please, when you are done, you can release it, because when you don't release it, it can make you a bit hyper. Yes, this is rose flower. This is rose flower. Okay, so this rose flower works with all the chakras. And when we get there, I will explain to you how it does. So all the chakras, this rose flower, whether the blue, the red, whatever it is, works with all the chakras. So please have it in mind, and it will go a long way to help you. So if you're a musician and you finish performing, or you are someone who is influential, you are a speaker, you're a motivational speaker, and you always use your chakras by amplifying them, please, when you are done, just release it, relax, for you to calm down, so that you can be of yourself. Other than that, you could be a little bit hyper, which might not be good for you as well. So please have that in mind. When dealing with difficult situations such as handling confrontations with another person, imagine a thick and heavy shield has come down in front of you, providing a head protection. So at times you are fighting, someone is provoking you, doing a whole lot of things just to provoke you or get you off where you are. The best thing that what I'm trying to communicate with you, or I'm trying to tell you, is, please, instead of getting annoyed, just move from that environment. Okay, move from that environment to a calm environment, and then within a short while, whatever it is will calm down, no matter how it is. So it will go a long way to help you. So please, most of you, your chakras are very, very, very imbalanced, and it goes a long way to help you. And I know that wherever you are watching me, this lecture will go a long way to help you. I have this son in Uganda that I saw the tree of life on his status, and then I asked him, look, son, why have you started, do you know about chakras? And he was like, no, Papa, no, I just happens to come across it, I like it, and then I use it as my DP. And I was like, well, okay, no, don't worry, when it gets there you understand, because he's such a young man, and I didn't want to take him too deep. I hope you understand. So most people, they accidentally run into means of resolving chakras, or means of getting to know chakras, but because the idea of resolving these chakras are not there, they don't even know what they are encountering, and it can even lead them to a higher disadvantage as well. So please, we need to have that in mind, and to go a long way to help us. To our next point, please remember, give it time to repeat or practice whatever you begin to notice and feel difference when you feel like your mood is changing, your emotions. Okay, mostly important of all, you will not feel tiredness. So if you can control your mood, the mood that you are, so someone can say, today I don't feel like seeing anybody. That is you. Well, if you don't feel like seeing anybody, being isolated could be very good. It can help to repair your chakras. Or you are so emotional, you are so sensitive about certain things. If you can excuse yourself, these chakras of yours that is giving you this uncomfortable situation can easily change for you to have a better result. So please have it in mind, and it will go a long way to help you. You will not be tired in terms of fatigue and other things. You will not be tired. You will not feel so overwhelmed and other things. Why? Because these chakras are really working very well for you. So you need to have that in mind. Okay, you need to have that in mind. Now, the individual sections of each chakra may also be done in isolation if you feel that you have an imbalance in a particular chakra. So, not that in most cases, some of the chakras could be working, but maybe one or two are not working. And if that one or two are not working, there's always a way that you can activate it or make it work for you to be okay. So you need to have that one also in mind, so that these are the basics that I'm giving you. When we start the chakra, we start with the root chakra, you know where we are coming from. So you need to jot these points down. It will go a long way to help you. The self-awareness exercise are essential. They bring an awareness of any difficulties you may be experiencing into your conscious awareness, so that you can deal with the problem. So whatever issues that you are going through, if your self-awareness, which is part of the chakra, okay, or it is created by the chakra, self-awareness, anybody who has self-awareness, that is created by the chakra. So if it is, you have that self-awareness, and then you are able to control some of the issues that come to you, no matter how it is, because you have that conscious awareness, you will come out of that problem without any difficulty. So please have it in mind. Before we continue, I'll take a short break, but let me give you the names of these chakras that we'll be treating, God willing, next week. We have the first one is the root chakra. The root chakra, that is the first one. Okay, that is the root chakra, and it's, as I'm sitting, it starts from the bottom, the spinal cord. Okay, that links to my bottom. That is where this root chakra starts from. The next one is the sacral chakra. Okay, and then the third one is the solar plexus chakra. The fourth one is the heart chakra. The fifth one is the throat chakra, and then the sixth one is the is the brow chakra, and then the seventh one, which is the last one, is the crown chakra. So this is what, God willing, next week, after we have studied all these basics of it and trying to understand the definition of them, God willing, next week, this is what we'll be looking at. We'll be taking them one after the other. So please, those of you in the Akan class or the Ghanaian class who are already ahead of the English class, please, this is what you can do. You can bring in your contribution and then your questions to help this English class to also understand more about these chakras. I know you are deep, but you can start with the basics as I started with you, and then it will go a long way to help. Let me take just a short break and drink water. When I come back, we'll look more about the human energy system and how you can deal with it with chakras. I'll be right back. winter, and during this time, there's when you talk more, your throat becomes very dry. So you need to drink more water during this winter season. So we are also in our winter. This is our snow season. For those of us in West Africa, Harmattan is very known to us. If today is your first time of hearing of Harmattan, it's a very hazy weather. When it comes, everything becomes dry. Your lips and everything becomes dry. That is the only season when it comes. Mothers are very happy, especially those who don't have the washing machine. Why? Because when they wash clothes and then hang them, within the space of 30 minutes, they dry, and then they can just take them in, and then it helps them to offload their burden. So please have that in mind. Now let's continue with the human energy system. Remember, I was talking about the biomagnetic energy field. This chakras, okay, is connected to this human energy system in us. We all have the gift of healing. It is held within each and every one of us. Okay, you can heal. Okay, you can heal yourself. I can also heal myself. Kwamina can heal himself. Philip can heal himself. Whomever we are, we can heal ourselves. But the problem is, we don't know the process, or we don't understand how to use this human energy system. And that is what is causing us so much trouble, so much spiritual issues. And most of these issues that we go through are spiritual. And when spiritual issues become very intensified or chronic, and you don't address them, that is when it graduates to become physical. Okay, spiritual issues, when they come, you tackle them and get rid of them. If you don't get rid of them, they will graduate to become physical, which will go a long way to affect you. So you need to be very, very careful. In order for us to access these wonderful gifts, we need to understand how the human energy system works. Okay, I've already explained this to you, so there's no need for me to go over again. So you can put this point also down. The human body is made up of many parts, but what we will, what we'll be lecturing today, okay, are not the parts that we learned in school. Like this is the vein, this is where. No. We will be talking about we are talking about the chakras, and these chakras are where these veins they meet, and mostly where they normally meet from our legs and even to our toes. There are places where other veins come and meet. Okay, those are where those minor chakras are. But the higher chakras start from the waist to the crown. Okay, and in that part, veins are moving all over. Okay, they are moving all over, and these are we call it veins, but they are called nebis. Nebis. Those are the ones we refer to as river bodies. Okay, so if you are dealing with chakras and then you go and talk about veins, please, you are still talking about physical. When you use nebis, whomever you are discussing with, who understands this chakra very well, will know that you are talking about these connections where these river bodies meet and then form the chakra. Okay, and it will go a long way to help you. So please put that one also down, and then it can help you as well. So we are not talking about the parts like this is the vein, this is no. Example is what I cited for you. When you look on the world map or even on the Ghana map, you can see river bodies being represented by red, blue, so many colors. It's the same thing when it comes to this, our human structure. That is how these veins, okay, looks like. And in those veins, when it comes to the chakra, we call them nebis. And where one or two meet, that is where you can find these wonderful chakras. Okay, that is where you can find these wonderful chakras. So as is on the screen, the veins are there. You can see that it's just like the one in your favorite world map or your country map, how water is represented in these maps of ours is the same thing that you are witnessing here. So please take note of that, so that when someone is discussing something with you or asks a question as a student in Click Telegram class and talks about navies, you know that it's all about the river bodies in our system that generates or forms this chakras of ours. So please, you need to understand all this before we go deeper, and it will go a long way to help you. Now, moving forward, the physical body is what we all know about, which specialist, the specialist of it is a doctor when we are ill. So when this physical body is ill, that is what most people think about. Oh, this sickness, you need to go and see the doctor because you are ill. Mostly at times, it's not necessarily being an ailment that you have to see a doctor. It is an ailment that you have received as a result of encounter with a demon or an energy that is a bit negative, and it is having an impact in your spiritual being, which is manifesting physically. So tests and other things will be run on you, but nothing can be seen. So please, let's take note of that, and then it will go a long way to help us. When we are injured physically, the body immediately is affected. There has been trauma to the physical body. So, for instance, if I have a knife and by accidentally I happens to cut myself, I'll go through pains. Okay, I'll go through pains. Those are the physical ones that we are talking about. And when it happens, so it's a doctor that will come and stitch it for me. Those are physical injuries. Okay, as we have physical injuries, we have spiritual injuries as well. And as we are moving forward, we will understand all these. So please pay attention and then follow the lectures very, very well. Gradually, you will understand it. For those of you in the English class, this physical ailment matches the person affected. If you are a person under extreme stress, you may develop heart problems. So you see, most people are easily quick-tempered. Such people develop pressure and other things, okay, which are not good for you. They become problem for you or problematic for you if you are always stressing yourself. That is why you need not to live life that will please others, but live life to please yourself. Live life that will make you happy. Nobody can make you happy except yourself. Nobody can make you happy except yourself. So do things that will make you happy. Do things that will make you happy. And don't stress yourself over things. At times, I remember at a point I overstressed myself, and then I had to catch a flight, and then I got to the airport and I realized I was late as a result of stress. Okay, then I could say that my chakras were not balanced. They were not balanced. So some of the things that I was doing were affecting my physical activities as well, because I was overstressing myself. So instead of maybe thinking that I have to be at the airport to do my check-in early and other things, I was thinking about issues that were not going to benefit me. But at the long run, when it came physically, I missed my flight, and then I had to I have to check in with another airline as well, so that I can get to my destination. So you need to understand all this, that things that happens to you emotionally, or the stress that goes through your heart and other things, can give you pressure or give you heart diseases, which will be very, very difficult for you to get rid of. Now, let's talk about the body emotionals. Okay, the emotionals body, this is where our connection to our thoughts, feelings and emotions lies. If we experience negative thoughts and emotions, or if we are around too many negative people, then damage often occurs. I did explain this during the first presentation, so there's no need for me to explain into details for you. Let me take that point again so that you can write it down. The emotional body, this is where our connection to our thoughts, feelings, and emotions lies. If we experience negative thoughts and emotions, or if we are around too many negative people, then damage often occurs. I've explained this already, so please take your time and then write it down, and it will go a long way for you to understand what we'll be treating next week. Okay, for you to understand what we'll be treating next week. So please take very note of that. Now, for those of you in the United Kingdom, those of you in US, wherever you find yourself abroad, please, you need not to come all the way to Ghana to purchase products from Mama Vic. Now, Healing Hands Heart, they are based in the United Kingdom, and if you order from them and you are in Germany, wherever you are, within a day or two, you will receive your parcel. So you need not to come all the way to Ghana, whereby it can take 2 weeks, at times a month or two, before you receive your medicine. Meanwhile, remember that you are so much in need of it. That is why you have requested for it. So you need not to come all the way down to Ghana to purchase all these ones. We have the P Life Bitters, we have the Pico Flex, we have the spiritual and physical soap, the physical and spiritual cream, we have the hair grow, we have the white cream as well for those who are experiencing white. The ladies, for instance, there are some men who also have white as well. You can also purchase that, and then it will help you get rid of it. And then if you are going through certain issues and you think they are beyond you, please, you can also try and get the green leaves, which all you need is garlic, and then you add it to it and bath with it. Spiritual bathing are very, very important. Spiritual bathing are very, very important. All these chakras that I'm talking about, if you are able to balance it spiritually, it goes bath. If you are able to take your spiritual bath very well, it goes very well to balance it for you. So please, you need to take note of that. You need not to come to Ghana. You can contact any of these numbers on your screen, and they will respond to you, and wherever you are, they will make sure you get any of the products. What I recommend for you is the P Life Herbal Tea. It is very, very good. Since morning, all I've taken is just coffee, and I'm sitting here, and then in the afternoon I took the herbal tea, and that is all. That is all, and it will take me till tomorrow. So if you are someone that you really your work is very tedious, you spend more hours with work, please, what I recommend for you is the P Life Herbal Tea. It will help you a lot to have a lot of energy, or gain a lot of energy. Please, let's move on from Healing Hands Heart. Let's come back to our chakra points. Before we left, I was saying something. Now let's continue. When this happens, we feel tired and lack enthusiasm and energy for life. That is when these negative entities and other things come in contact with us. We feel very tired. Now, the mental body represents our logical self. This is the rational part of ourselves. This is the part which is engaged when we take part in rational debates and discussions. I've already explained this during my introduction, so I'm only reading them so that you can get the points down. Now remember, the mental body represents our logical self. This is the rational part of ourselves. This is the part which is engaged when we take part in rational debates and discussion. Okay, so if you happen to be in a very serious argument or discussion with someone, this normally happens when maybe you tune into your TV station and then you have two people, one from the other side and the other this one from the other side, discussing the same issue. Each and every one of them have their own idea concerning the same issue. Okay, and that is some of this that is the mental body, and these are the physical rational things that you see, and it has its spiritual aspect of it. That is the chakra aspect of it. So as we are moving ahead, you understand most of them. Now let's look at the astral body as well. Now in chakras, okay, we have, as we have the mental body relating to chakras, we have astral body also relating to chakras. And as we are moving ahead, we will know some of these astral bodies that are related to these wonderful chakras of ours, and which of the chakras that these astral bodies are related to. Okay, for instance, there are hundreds of beautiful stars that are related to the chakras, and we will get to know that, God willing, next week. Now, it is also known as the Ura, or the ethic double. So I always talk about having a bad Ura around you. Ura is a good energy. Okay, it's a good energy. If you have it, it goes a long way to help you. But if you're unfortunate and then you happen to have the bad one, I'm sorry for you, because everything that you do will be negative. So you need to be very careful as well. The astra is made up of a biomagnetic energy field. So you see, we brought back to the same biomagnetic energy field that is built in we humans as well. So the astra that we all know, it is also built with biomagnetic energy fields, and we humans have it. That is why we are able to connect with these astral energies to achieve our spiritual purposes. Okay, we are able to connect with them to achieve our spiritual purposes. Like for instance, if you want to use something like the sun, whatever that it is, you can use it to achieve your spiritual purpose, and because you have a connection with that energy, so please have that in mind. To grant the astral body, it is connected to the physical body by an extended cord at the medulla. Astral projection or travel can occur when we are in a relaxed and calm state. Most at times, you can be in Ghana, but within few minutes you find yourself in US, and anything that is happening there, you can come back and tell them this and that happened, and people will begin to wonder, why are you a witch or wizard? No, if you are able to mastermind this your astral projection, you can travel to so many places. Your physical body will be here, but the soul, okay, will move, and all this, you can do this as a result of you having a very balanced chakra. So please take note of that. And then the next point, we'll be bringing our lectures to an end very, very soon. Exactly 10, we'll be closing. This can happen during guided meditation, hypnosis, and more. Hypnosis is something that you need to be very, very much careful. It's something that if you are not careful and you are hypnotized, it can go a long way to affect you. So you need to be very, very careful when it comes to this, especially with your chakras. This is our connection to our higher self or spiritual plane. So as I am saying, the astral and all that I've been explaining to you connects us to our higher or our spiritual planes, and all these spiritual planes, you can connect to it as a result of your chakras. Okay, as a result of your chakras. So please bear it in mind. The intuitive body. First of all, we talk about the mental body, we talk about the astral body, and now we are talking about the intuitive body. That is your intentions, what you think. This layer contains of our intuitive thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So whatever that you are thinking about, okay, it's also part of the chakra. It's also part of the chakra. So you need to be very careful what you think of, because what you think of can affect your chakra. It can affect your chakra. So you need to be very, very careful as to what you think about, and it will go a long way to help you. For instance, knowing what to do. Extension forces stop us. Knowing very well how nature can help, you can elevate, but religion and other bodies prevent us. For instance, if I use rose water, I can easily balance my chakras and then I'll be free. But at the same time, the kind of religion that I find myself in tells me that if I use herbs, it means I'll go to hell. If I use herbs, I will go to hell. So in this case, please, am I doing any good to myself? Am I doing any good to myself? I don't think so. I'm rather condemning myself, because there are so many ways that I can use to get breakthrough of whatever that I'm going through, to balance these chakras that I'm having. But as a result of my religion, I find it difficult to accept, okay, to accept that using maybe rose flower can help me balance all my chakras. So these are the intuitive body. So the kind of religious body that you find yourself in can also affect you very, very much. So you need to be very careful, and you need to be very careful of the kind of doctrine you listen to. There are so many doctrines happening out there, but for you to get the original or the secrets that has been, the hidden ones that has been kept from you for long, you need to be very careful as to what you listen to, because those ones, they don't sound appealing. Okay, as I'm sitting here, what I'm giving you is something that later when you play the video or you listen to it, you are listening to me on the Click Radio app or Click TV, you realize that later on when you play it and then you understand it deeply, you will know that, oh, not knowing we were having such great impartation, but we did not know. This is a great impartation that I'm giving to you free of charge. So you need to make sure you are understanding it. If you don't understand anything, put your questions across, because exactly 10 o'clock I'll be ending today's lectures. Now, as a result of these religious bodies that we find ourselves in, can cause us panic, sentence you to a serious thinking as to it being good or bad. So at first, when people use herbs, they were considered as people who are going to hell. Okay, they were considered as people who are going to hell. But herbs, in everything that we do as humans, herbs, we can't do away with our herbs. So we need to be very, very mindful of the kind of doctrine we listen to. Yes, you can belong to a religious body, but be careful so that you don't fall a victim to some of these things, because most of them want to dominate you. So they hide these good things from you so that they can dominate you all the time. And that is what I am preventing. I want you to be a master of yourself, a king of yourself. So please take note of these lectures very, very well. You can play it over and over and then write down your notes. It will go a long way to help you, because God willing, next week, Tuesday, when I come, I am starting with the root chakra, and there's no way I will chip in any of this introduction to it. I am introducing you to the chakra, so there's no way I will do that. I'll just go straight to it, and you need to have that in mind. Before we continue, I have few comments here from Facebook. Let me read them and then acknowledge them so that we'll continue. From Pearl Charlton, he says, please share for more views. Oh, okay. Every good thing comes in a way, in disguise. Every good thing comes in disguise, and it's only few people who will receive it, and those few people will become kings and queens over the majority. So please don't worry about that. It is better for few people to be in class so that those who are lazy to use their time judiciously to learn, or rather want to do something with it, at the end of the day, they can come to you and then seek help, and then you dominate them. So please, if you are in class, take it very careful, and then take note of whatever that I'm teaching you. From Rebecca Gubi, she says, tell me more. So Rebecca, I'm basically, what I'm trying to say is, all that about chakras that we are going to discuss next week. We are starting with roots chakra and more. I wouldn't come back to the introduction. All I'm giving you is introduction of chakras. Introduction of chakras. So when I mention that this chakra, this is how you do it. This is the element that goes with this chakra. This is how you can activate it when it's imbalanced. You understand it. And then from Teresa Yeboah, well done, dear, and with love. Thank you, Teresa Yeboah. I really, really appreciate all of you coming to class. I really, really appreciate all of you coming to. From Walid Mohammed, it's a good evening, family. Good evening, Walid. And then from Gloria AJ, my lovely daughter, with more love. With more love. Thank you for coming to class. I learned you've not been coming to Telegram class. You need to go there and then let your class prefect know that you are around, else they will sanction you. So that is it. If you are in any of the classes, whether WhatsApp or Telegram, please, you need to make yourself known over there, or else very soon they will get rid of you and you will not have access to the Telegram again unless you reapply to be part of it, okay, which will not be beneficial to you. Please, so have that in mind. Have that in mind. Now let's continue. As we're talking about sentencing yourself to thinking and it being good or bad, the next one is most of the times you fail because you ignore the good things that you can do to make your life better. When you apply maybe rose flower or rose water to your life, it can change so many things, but the kind of doctrine that you are listening to tells you that is bad, so you ignore it and you keep on going through the same situation, which is not good. So please take note of these points that I'm telling you, because during the main presentation, those are the things that we'll be working with. And then the next one is the casual body. The casual body. When I talk about the casual body next week, you should know what I'm talking about. It's where our spiritual essence and higher self is found. Okay, it contains information of whom we are or really are, and all that can hope to achieve. So whom we are, or what we are really are, and what we can really achieve is what this casual body does. Okay, and it is highly spiritual, so please take note of that. And then the next one is the energy flows. The energy flows, just like the river body that we see. You see that blood is flowing through these nibbles, okay, and the kind of energy that flows through these nibbles are not just blood, okay, they are not just blood, but they are supernatural energies or riverbeds that enable us to activate this or balance these chakras. Energy flows through the body in so many channels called nabels. Nabels, that is Nadis, nabels. This is a word meaning riverbed. This is a word meaning riverbed. Remember, I said this during my earlier introduction at the beginning, so most of you should know about numbers by now. It simply means riverbeds. How it looks like, okay, how it looks like. There are around 72,000 nibbles in the human body. So if you go to the human body, there are 72,000 nibbles. If you count them, you have 72. So please take note of that. Let me summarize, and then we'll bring today's lecture to an end, because it's almost 10 o'clock. The chakra is any location where two or more nerves cross over. A chakra looks like a spinning wheel or disc. As we have a CD disc, that is how a chakra is, okay, or a wheel. That is how a chakra looks like. God willing, next week you see all of them and how they look like. There is an optimum speed for your chakra to be spinning at, okay. There is a certain speed. So if, let's say, you are going 20 kilometers per hour, that is if that is the balance chakra, and then you go 50, that is imbalance. If you go 10, it's also imbalance. You have to be accurate, you have to be on point. So next week we will understand all that. There are many minor chakras in the human body. I've already explained this, okay, because this nebis goes all the way to our toes and everything, and they cross. But the most important that we recognize them are the 7 chakras, as I named them to you, from the root to the crown. Those are the ones that we'll be discussing, God willing, from next week. Basically, I thank you all for coming to class. For those of you who are always writing to me, Reverend, why are you always teaching in the Ghanaian language? We don't understand. We are starting chakras. We are starting the 7 chakras, and I'm giving you the foundation, the basic understanding, so that when we talk about the casual body, you know what it is, because I've already explained it to you today. And when we start it, God willing, next week, I hope it will be a blessing to you and your family. Wherever you are, maybe you might be going through certain issues that are beyond you. You are trying whatever that you hear, or whatever solutions you hear on Click, and it is still standing. Please, what you can do is just contact the front desk of Click TV. Contact the front desk of Click TV, and then just tell them you want to meet with Reverend. You are having, you need an appointment and with Reverend. The lady will talk to you and then make you book an appointment with you. And as to when I'm available, you can come and meet me, so that whatever that is there, we'll be able to discuss it. So please, you can just call the number on the screen. Wherever you are, just come and let's meet. And I know with the faith that I have in the Creator, you will not go back with the same issue again. May the Creator bless you. May Mother Earth bless you in abundance with a lot of honey in your life, so that whatever that you do will be prosperous. God willing, Tuesday we'll meet. But remember that tomorrow between 3 to 4, I will come your way with another version of the Click Telegram account, or the Ghanaian language. I wouldn't give you the topic. It will be a surprise, and I know it will be a blessing to you as well. God willing, we'll meet Tuesday. Bye-bye.